Am I audible to everyone? Quick heads up if I'm audible properly to everyone. Thanks a lot for joining today. We have interesting session held together. So I'm going to take a lot of guys. Just be with me for a short duration. We will get started. I'm just waiting for a couple of more folks to join. So yep. So meanwhile, how was your weekend? How you guys are doing? Yep. Okay. So feel free to show your excitement on the chat. Feel free to ask me a lot of question on the chat. This is going to be very interesting. So I'm doing this YouTube live after a very long time. So I'm not that much pro in YouTube live. So still, we'll try to coordinate as much as possible. We will try to make it as much as real as we can. So with that, before we get started, so I hope everyone have put down their questions on the Slido, or if not, you can use this chat also in order to put down your question. Yeah, I'm doing great. So a quick update before we get started, although this 1 hour is going to be very proactive in terms of the question that we are going to discuss. But still, let me tell you, right now I'm traveling North India, approximate 2-3 weeks. Basically, I will be traveling. This is my second week basically in North India. Right now I'm in Ghaziabad basically. So right now I'm in Ghaziabad in my in-laws house basically. So I have some functions, something as a meetings to attend, not meetings, some events to attend basically over here. So I will be traveling back next week to Bangalore. So this is quick update from my side, and hence there are few things which I was not able to record as such for you guys. So apologies for that. So once I'm back to Bangalore, so I have a lot of plan for YouTube channel as well, for check the system design, for Namaste Frontend system design. So I will ensure that we do a lot of interesting thing on all the fronts basically. So once again, thanks a lot for joining, taking your time on weekend to basically discuss great questions. Chalo, with that, let's get started. So I'm going to take all the questions which are coming to the chat. Don't worry about that. Chalo, with that, let me share my screen. We will get started. Okay. Awesome. I hope my screen is visible to you guys. You're able to see the things which are on my screen. So you're able to see the questions. I hope related to organizing meetups in Bangalore. Definitely, we can think of even if someone is interested to meet. Maybe I will try to see if next Saturday I can pull down some time basically, and we can catch up somewhere common place, maybe near like Ghaziabad, Noida or something. We can also plan that thing. So if anyone wanted to initiate that, I wanted to volunteer such thing, I'm happy. So if you can plan something around to meet somewhere, something we can think of. Perfect. With that, let's get started with some of the crazy questions which you guys have basically put down. So here's the first question. How to structure any big application, its component containers in a scalar way. So as a senior dev, we could write a scalable code. Think of any FE apps. So guys, so one thing which I wanted to talk about, although it seems like it's a front end app, if you know React, you can build anything. That is how basically we think of. But when you actually build complex applications, a complex front end application, there are so many things comes into the picture. Lot of business logics are there. Things are not built in a year. What does it mean? It has multiple versions of different libraries, multiple developers have contributed. So eventually your app becomes complex, not just because of the technology basically you have used, because of the business people contributing in number of different design patterns, and it's different style of coding basically get into. Few things I will suggest. Any big application basically can work and can scale if you have right set of rule. When I say right set of rule, starting with very fundamentals. Example, how do you structure your code quality in terms of ESLint, TS config kind of thing, right? Then having a right set of guidelines related to how do you wanted to do the PR commit and all sort of things. Those are very fundamental thing, how you wanted to. Even I will recommend people should have a proper conventions in their repos, in their project, where saying, hey, I wanted to use two spaces or a tab. Like, to that granularity we have to use it, especially if you wanted to support the class component or a functional component, if you wanted to ensure that people are writing the arrow function or not, that is at a code level. So code level checks has to be implemented, incorporated into the code, so that when your team grows, you don't have to give those review comments basically on every PR. That becomes very hectic and tedious, right? Second, nowadays people have started leveraging AI bot in order to get these things basically done, get early suggestion instead of waiting for a longer duration. Now, coming to how do we structure those things, we have to understand. As I was saying, it's not, there is no silver bullet saying that, hey, you follow a duck method, you follow a different, you can say, folder architecture in order to build anything. But what are the fundamental thing that every hardly matter what name of folder you give. To be very frank, there are multiple people using multiple strategies. Some creates utility, some creates helpers, some have those components, some have those pages, some have different kind of folder structures. Basically, some create their store in a separate file, some people create controllers at a separate folder level. It depends on how your business basically need is, and like understanding your business needs so that people can understand well, right? So that is how sometimes you have to build your architecture considering some of the fundamental things, so that it should not become something out of box where people are not able to relate it with your product. So things should be somewhere related with your product, it becomes easy eventually. I sometimes recommend your folder structure in terms of your pages component, those hierarchy. If you, there are some generic component which can be used anywhere, but there are certain things in terms of the page hierarchy and whatnot. If you can structure those things in a fashion where it follows those hierarchy in your code structure, sometimes it becomes very easy for people to navigate. Some people follow the flat structure where it looks good in early days, but when it goes to 100, 150, 200, now people, dude, this becomes a damn complex thing to structure, to understand this flat hierarchy. So what I mean by understand the complexity of your project, understand the business, understand how many people are contributing to that. Based on that, you decide what kind of a folder structure you wanted to go. Start with simple, don't go with a complex like I wanted to create hell of a lot of hierarchy. Start with flat structure, and as the complexity grows, you start making it more modular in order to chip in into different structures. That is what I will always recommend. So as people saying, we should start with monolithic, yes, but considering this monolithic can be micro front end, or you can say microservices in future. That is a thought process. If you have, then you won't be doing a cross sharing of the file. What I meant by, you may not create a packages for individual product or a module that you have. It's okay. You may not have a different build pipeline for those things. It's okay. But can you think of, can I create those folder structure in a way in future, if this has to be segregated, the effort is less. Try to avoid cross sharing of importing of random files, creating those circular dependencies and whatnot. So more the tooling you are going to use, the more safe you are, and more you can move from monolithic to micro front end in future if needed. But do not start with over engineering. I've seen developers starting with over engineering and getting screwed up after a period of time. Please don't do that. I'm a front end developer. I wanted to learn the backend out of the Spring Boot Django Express. Trust me, guys, you, if you have a solid understanding of REST, solid understanding of how to interact with your database, how this ORM basically works, how to write simple queries using ORM, how do you handle the request and the response basically, even in one of these framework. If you already are good at JavaScript, I will always recommend start with the Express. Now, just a syntactical sugar. Like if you know Python, Django, learning Django is very easy. If you know JavaScript, like Java, then Spring onboarding to Spring Boot is very easy. Most of them, both of them have fundamentally, you are going to use same REST principle, same communication principle and whatnot, same interaction with the database, nothing fancy. Everything is same. Just that syntactical sugar of the programming language under the hood is going to change. Your no one actually hires in the company, at least at a big product based company, saying that, hey, have you worked on a Spring Boot or a Django? No. Or a Express? No. They are not going to ask you specific questions. They may ask you something something high level and a conceptual thing in a system design round. In your any of the technical round, they are not going to ask you anything specific related to these framework, because they also understand there is different services, microservices, which are written in different programming language and using different framework under the hood. Then how it is going to work? Practically not possible, right? So things keep on changing. Right now, some people have started using Go. There are a lot of applications which are like written in Perl, right? Ruby on Rail. So there are so many such things basically that exist. So what I meant by your fundamental should be strong. Frameworks will keep on changing, guys. Trust me. Please tell me the difference between the front-end system design and the system design we normally hear. So I will tell you. Normally, system design that we hear works for early stage engineer who are not sure where they wanted to make their career. It means you should have an overall understanding of how system works. Like you have a front end, you have a back end, you have front end and back end communicating, you have databases communicating basically. Now in backend, there are multiple such things which can exist. Like you can have CDN, you can have different servers, you can have basically queues, you can have n number of other things. You have databases. Now each one of them has to go through multiple of those you can say basic fundamental thing related to the security, scaling and whatnot. So now how this basically works, right, at a overall level. That's why you might have seen in some of the HLDs I have talked a bit about the overall architecture, overall system, how basically that matters, right? Now when we say front end system design, you have to understand, if you wanted to become a lead, you wanted to become an architect, you wanted to grow your career in a front end, you wanted to go deeper, most of the folks in generic software engineers thinks in front end you have to just pull the data and show the data. That is not the current scenario. As you already see, there are a hell lot of complex applications that are built on the front end. You right now you judge a good application and a bad application basically mostly based on the front end, not just about the full look and feel, more around the performance, more around, hey, this is secure, this is not secure, more around, hey, I there was an internet glitch, I can basically retry a lot of stuff, my data is not. Lot of security and lot of reliability things exist on the front end basically, right? How these things are basically taken care of, all of these things are consider if you have depth understanding of the front end. And here the front end system designs comes into the picture, which talks about the entire in-depth front end system design and its communications. Like when I say communication, how do it communicate with the backend, and what are the best ways to communicate, what are the best possible things to communicate, right? All of these basically things comes in the front end system design. Like front end system design is not just limited to what do you write inside a front end, how do you interact with the subsequent system nearby, right? That is also something which is important. It can be network layer, it can be your backend system. Nowadays, if you might be using some of the, you may be knowing that you can interact with a lot of databases directly from the UI, right? You don't need backend services in order to interact with the database. So such thing also, lot of things can be done on the front end side, depend on the use cases, right? So any of the interaction that you do with any of the operating system, how do you do, how you can ensure it's secure, stable, reliable, performant, right? Everything basically comes into the picture. When we say in general system design, most of the people go search, like consider example, you are a front. I have seen this, I have faced this problem when I joined Microsoft. I gave interview to many of these companies. Like I was also holding offer from many of those companies. I have given like interviews to Apple also, to Google also, Microsoft, many of those good companies, right? So now I realized over the period of time, the kind of a understanding people were having is also on a questionable thing. Like you are a front end developer, you have never interacted database, and someone is basically talking about, hey, can you tell me about sharding? So sharding basically happens on a database layer. Although as I have worked on both the side of the word in my career, so I am passionate more on the front end. I work majorly on the front end side, but I know the things on the other side, right? So uh, all of a interesting point, these kind of discussion has happened where I realize there is a gap. People don't understand. Like one is, it's as simple as you have learned a lot of thing in BTech. You have like 6 into 8, I think 48 subjects which we have learned, right? We have just learned, we don't know how to apply, where to apply. It's just that someone asked you, this is there in your curriculum, please go and just mug up. And we did the same. Like it's not It's not someone else's fault, it's our fault. Basically there was no chance, basically no choice, basically, and we took that decision. What happened? We screwed up. We don't remember anything because we did not apply those things. What's the point of learning something that you are not going to apply altogether in your near future, at least near future, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year down the line? So hence, please do not go for something which is not your cup of tea, or you are not interested, or you are not going to do something, right? And hence I will recommend, please, like, you should know how your system behaves end to end, but digging deeper, you dig deeper as your preference, where you wanted to build your career. Which stable company offers salary of 1 to 1.5 cr to 10-year experienced professional? What skill are required? Acha, chalo, how many of you are looking for 1 cr package? Just wanted to know. Like, obviously this is interesting, and I know a lot of people are looking forward that. Like, how many of you really looking for that, guys? I just wanted to know. Like, it's okay, I wanted to become a crorepati. Like, what's the problem in that? How many people are looking? Okay, I see many of you. Like, जाता ही क्या है, अगर 1 करोड़ मिल रहा है तो बढ़िया है ना. So I will tell you some interesting stories around that, right? In India, getting 1 CR CTC is tricky. It's tricky for a software engineer, right? If you become an engineering manager or you become an architect, getting that CTC is still challenging, but probably there are companies which can give. But there are few things we have to understand. What are those things? Basically, first thing, important thing, like, when we say 1 to 1.5 cr, most of the time these are your including your stocks. So now there's an important thing that we have to understand from the stock perspective. Many experienced people may be already knowing, there are many early stage people who may not be knowing. When we say stock, depend which company you are working. If you are working in a startup, you are working in a middle tier company which is not yet public company, right, which is not listed in the stock market, then what we are talking about, we are talking about ESOP, which are there on the paper. They are on the paper. You get that benefit of the, you can say, ESOP only when there is a new investment which is goes on. Your company does a buyback of your you can say ESOP. Second, if your company is acquired. Third, when your company get public company, right? So for me, it had happened in multiple times in past, where, consider example, in a startup where I have worked, right? So they have done buyback. So they have done buyback. Buyback doesn't happen 100%. They happen like 5%, 10% of whatever ESOP you have. So ultimately, what my point is, that's a long run game, and that's a bet on a company where you are working on, right? Obviously, you can get perks and benefit and whatnot, but it's a long run game, and who knows what happened to that company? Like, what's the trajectory of that company? So that's a questionable thing. But when you go any of the public company, it's a cash. It's actually a cash component. What does it mean? So if they offer you a stock of, say, suppose 50 lakh, 1 CR, whatever they are offering, so that get invested over the period of 4 year or 5 year. So ultimately you can divide that to that particular duration per year kind of a thing. And that's a cash component. Whenever people talk about this 1.5 CR, most of the time people are actually talking about including the component of the stock, right? Else, in India, getting that 1 to 1.5 CR package as a software engineer is bit tricky. When you are a lead at a very good company, when you are a engineering manager, when you are an architect in almost all the big product based company, right? Almost big product company, including your stock component, you can expect somewhere in this range. But depends, as I said, if you are at that level. If not, then that's a questionable thing, right? That is what you should remember. And don't get into those trap, guys. So people may be talking about, hey, I have this much package and that much package. Sometimes people tell the stocks of 5 years or 4 year, and basically they tell you as a entire thing, right? So that's a questionable thing. You should understand how much you are getting per year, right? Like, before taxes, obviously before taxes. Like, getting that much amount after taxes is again very much questionable thing, right? So people talk about their CTC, people talk about the variable component, people talk about the stocks basically they have, or everything in combo basically is actually a part of that, right? So please remember those things. And in terms of the company, almost take any good company. If you are at a lead position, if you are around that, including the stock and whatnot, you can expect that it will touch somewhere in that particular bracket. Any big product based company, they have those budget in that particular bracket. It's just that if you are currently holding 50 lakh including everything, they will never give you 1 CR. If you already have 70 something, 80 something, then you can expect around that. But depends what you have currently. At that stage, they do not double the package. In early stage, you can expect if you have 3 lakh, you can get 6 lakh. You have 3 lakh, you can go to like maybe 12 lakh if you are very lucky enough, kind of a thing. But that doesn't happen at a so easily at that senior level, right? Your package does not get double. Okay, so how, let me see how rendering happens in the HTML. I have created this detailed video. The first video basically talks about how web page renders. The last part of it basically talks about the multiple processes about layouting, painting, and everything basically, right? So I will recommend please go through that particular video, detailed video. At the last, you will get a very fair understanding how these things are working. So if you still have question, you can ask on the Discord or the WhatsApp group basically that we have. But that video is much detailed with a lot of example. I hope that will give you a precise idea around that. Okay, I am good at MERN stack front-end DSA, but have long year gap. What do you mean by long? Long, it can be 1 year, 2 year, or maybe a decade. I'm scared that if I have good portfolio, I may not get opportunity. Oh, it seems like you haven't tried out, man. Like whoever have written that, you are just assuming right now what will happen if I go and start approaching or like start looking for the company outside, right? That's what it seems like, right? So what I meant by, guys, there are two parts. One is assuming you are good or you are not good, assuming that you may not get a job, you may get a very good job, you may not get a 1 lakh salary, or you may get a 1 CR salary, right? That's all assumption. The best thing that happens when you go is start applying. You learn from your rejections, guys, right? The best thing is you learn from your rejection, because that exactly tells personalized content for you, like where you are lacking in terms of the job, in terms of the opportunity. Guys, if you are skilled, trust me, people are there to pay you like anything. And now people who think like hiring have stopped, people are not hiring. So guys, I just wanted to tell you, my current team was of size 2 people in December. Right now it's 35 people, around 35 people in March, right? So everywhere there is a hiring, right? It's just that you have to look for, sometimes understanding a business perspective is also important. If the company is making a business, if company is making a profit, if that particular team or a product is making a profit, right, you will get opportunities and whatnot. Your company may be making profit. If your team, your product is not making a profit, guys, that's a question mark. So I will highly recommend everyone, do not chase for very big companies, chase for good leaders, chase for good product, chase for profitable product, right, or impacting product. You will get opportunities and you will grow in your career. Do not choose just for the sake of big companies. That doesn't work. Trust me, that doesn't work, right? So now few things I wanted to talk about. Even if you have gap, guys, anyone can have gap in their career because of n number of reasons. It doesn't mean you cannot come back and you can't start. It's just that whenever you reach out, you should not say that, dude, I did not do anything in last 2 years. Like, what you are doing? You will be doing damn something, right? How it can happen like a person was very champ, was very good, and because of no reason, he is just sitting idle. Like, HR is like, dude, what do you think about me? Right? I'm not that fool, man, right? There is something hidden that you are not actually openly sharing with me, right? That's what the HR expectation is. And hence, what I mean by, whatever gap you have, you should have a solid reason around that. And if you can showcase that I actually upskilled myself in that particular gap, then that's a perk. Like, you can have unfortunate scenarios, situation, and whatnot. If you are upskilling also in that particular you can say, happening, or any unfortunate stuff that happened, that's what HR is actually looking for. That's what a company is looking for. Because what if you are a part of a company and something happened at that time? Company will not kick you off. and how you are contributing back to the company in those unfortunate scenarios, that's also a company wanted to see. So that's the quality of a smart leader, how a smart leader assess you, right? That's why I always say, look forward for a great leaders instead of a great companies. If you are getting mentorship from a great leaders, you will grow much better as compared to anyone. So what are the best backend and front end combination? What are the best backend and front end combinations? Like, I am not sure what kind of a expectation you are having from this particular question. If you are asking among these, then I would recommend both are best. It just wanted to say, you are saying if a engineer, doctor, CA, or a lawyer is better, who is better, who earns better, who has better passion in any of those areas, right? If you are passionate, if you know what you are doing and why you are doing and what kind of impact you can make, you can be better than anyone else, right? It's just that the passion basically derives. Now if you're talking about combination, like, hey, can you tell me a project which have a best combination of both the side of the word? I will recommend, take any damn example of where very basic example, the application that you use day and out, it's starting from Facebook, starting from Discord, starting from your online editing tools, right? So any of these softwares that we are talking about, right, these are gems, right? Any e-commerce, good e-commerce that you pick, right, these are gems, right? If you try to dig deeper, you will find the great things, great systems on front end and back end both, right? If you have to follow, do follow, those are great uh, recommendation. Will how many of you are actually looking for this question? I know nowadays it's a very common thing, everyone is actually looking forward to it. How many of you are looking for, is AI going to replace software engineering and whatnot? I think I saw somewhere similar questions related to Devin. Acha, this is where we have. So guys, in short, AI is like a tool, is like a machinery. So example, if you are a farmer, or you have seen a farmer, earlier farmer used to basically do everything by their own, right? Now there are AI or tools which came into the picture, right? Now a lot of agriculture things have started using tools, machinery. If you see, is farming going to die? Sorry. If farmers going to suffer? Sorry. Who's going to suffer? Who's not going to adopt it? Who's not going to adopt it? If you are not ready to accept it, then you are going to suffer. If you feel like, hey, this is a tool, this is a machinery which actually going to help me. Earlier I was able to harvest maybe 1 acre in a certain duration. Now in the same duration I can harvest 10 acre. Then that's a buddy that you have actually brought together, right? If you work in a combo with the AI, you take right assistance with the AI, right? Then your work, your life, your productivity, your earning, your growth is going to grow. So you have to think in that direction, and trust me, people who does the jugaad, right? Find something, just do something without putting a brain, then AI is going to replace you. If you are a person who don't have fundamental understanding of things, if you were just in a jugaad to get some things, somehow follow n number people and get this shit done, then AI is going to impact you. Because one day AI will become much smarter than you. Like, even you won't be able to consume AI, right? So if you are smart enough to consume AI with your great fundamental understanding, solid understanding, and your analytical thinking, then AI won't be able to rule you, right? It's always going to be beneficial stuff for you, right? What are the different channels and way is getting a freelancing project in the front end technology? Uh, so by the way, I created this a detailed video around the same related to the you can say freelancing and whatnot. You can search on my channel also, and it's also on the front end for everyone course, right? You can look forward in any of those things. But I will recommend you guys to use LinkedIn also, guys. Nowadays I have seen lot of people who are from non-tech, right, they wanted to get their ideas evaluated. For that they need people to, hey, join. There is a concept called stealth mode, right? People who are working, like, not wanted to expose what they are doing to the outside world. They just wanted to say, hey, we are going to come up, we are working on some product. So for those things we have this called stealth mode, right? Look forward for companies who are working on this stealth mode, right? And reach out to them, say that, hey, I can actually contribute to your product enough as a freelancer, and basically help you to grow and reach your you can say goals at a much faster speed. You will get earning and you will get great product to work on. So one of the strategies is look out for such companies, because they don't have money to hire people. They wanted to build things with a very less small team, but again they have lot of other works that has to be done, and you can be a great fit as a freelancer. So try that out. Apart from the tools like Upwork, like n number of other you can say applications are there. So over there you have to make a lot of effort. This is one of the technique that no one knows actually. So I'm actually talking because so many people in the wealth mode have reached out to me in order to do similar kind of stuff. So then I realized, hey, actually that's a need of a market. So please try that out. So how front end developer, like how senior front end developer code, please share some of the common pattern strategy to look out and break the problem, thinking in the writing the scalable code. Okay, so I will tell you, as a senior developer, what are your thought process. You as a senior developer, you, there are multiple things. One, what you wanted to achieve. Second, feasibility check. Third, prioritization of your task. Fourth, dependencies, basically, right? How your functionality, your code, your whatever you are targeting, how it is dependent to different teams, different stakeholder, which you don't have like hold for. A senior developer never thinks about, hey, this is a component that I have to build, I will get it built in 1 week. I don't care about how the API behind it, or how it is going to serve the business, how it is going to impact your customers. It's just that for me, it's a component. I will just build the component. So if you are a senior level developer, you have to think beyond that, right? If you're thinking just about that, you React component or Angular component or UI component, uh, how to just get that done, that's a question. Now talking about the patterns, I will tell you one interesting story about a pattern, guys, right? So patterns are, I will tell you what the very good understanding of patterns. You will see in interviews, people randomly ask about some patterns, and there are a lot of people who randomly teaches almost all the patterns. If you go and ask them, hey, have you ever used this pattern anywhere in the application, they won't have any answer to that. It's just that there's a book, there's some place where those patterns are listed, and we have to basically teach all of those patterns. That becomes a challenging thing. What you have to understand about a pattern is this: we are speaking in English. Reason, we understand this English, right? If you speak, I speak in Hindi, you don't understand. If I speak in Punjabi, maybe you may not be able to understand. Now the point is, which language is good? Is Punjabi good, English good, or Hindi good? Anyone can anyone answer which language is good? Anyone who can answer which language is good actually? English, Hindi, or Punjabi? English, Hindi, or Punjabi? So I will, interestingly, I will tell you, these kind of a pattern, there are communities, there are use cases for which people have already researched, right? Those are some specific pattern people used to use. Now in order to like simplify this, in order to simplify so that you can understand, there is no silver bullet saying that this pattern is better than that pattern as any of your language, right? Or as your language. It's just that you have a team. If your team understand that pattern, follow that. If you can enhance any of your team members saying that, hey, this is something helps us to solve our use cases and this is better than what we are using, please adopt that, right? Reason why I am saying, if tell you, hey, use this factory pattern, which is good. Someone else tells you, hey, use the HOC pattern, and someone else talking about use hook pattern. Example in React, if we have to talk about, or someone is going to talk about, hey, combined pattern is more than as compared to props pattern, right? So what I meant by, there are different people who will give you different suggestion, but the best learning in the industry which I had is whichever pattern is can be adopted by your team, start with that and enhance over the period of time depending on the use cases what you are facing with the existing design patterns whichever you are using. Reason, if everyone start becoming smart and start using different design patterns now, it becomes very difficult in order to think about the maintainability of the product, right? So if you take any of these you can say design systems, you go to Material UI, you go to Bootstrap, you go to Fluent UI, you go to Ant Design, any of these design system, all of them follow the different design pattern. Do you really think that engineers who are working in those companies or who have built these design systems are in great engineers? They are, but along with the great engineers, they also understand, they are also a great developers, right? They understand, boss, I can build something crazy for a short term, but is it going to be adopted by more and more people? If not, that's a question, right? Java tech stack versus the MERN tech stack as a backend, which is best? Consider as a fresher. So I will tell you, the stacks are not decided based on you're a fresher or not. Stacks are decided by your use cases. Like if you have to work on a lot of IO operations, like input output, you have to read some information from database and you have to update something on the database. You have to read a lot of information from the file system and you have to write it back, right? You have to use as a proxy kind of thing. You have to get some information and you have to basically pass down that information to any system and get that information back. For IO operation, your Node.js is one of the best in order to help in terms of the scalability. But if you're looking for computation, if you're looking for some multi-threading kind of a stuff, right? Obviously, Node cannot support that, and hence you have other options basically depending on what kind of operation that you wanted to achieve. Java is one of most adopted, you can say, tech stack in the industry for the backend, no doubt, right? Because almost all the backend developers start their career with the Java, and and Java have basically they're in industry for many decades now, right? So the Java have developed those roots in the industry. Every product in big product in the industry will have somewhere dependency of this Java stack, right? That is 100% true. Now it doesn't mean Java can't be replaced. So now you will see lot of new microservices, new projects which people are working on. They don't work even on Java also. People use Go, right? People use, you can say different, people use Python also, right? They understand, boss, why I write 100 line of code if I can do that in 3 line of code, right? So hence people, depending on your use cases, people have started adopting different frameworks and libraries based, or you can say languages for the respective. Now as a fresher, which one to start with? I will recommend you learn maybe MERN, right? Have a good understanding, but don't stick with the syntax. Your fundamentals should be very clear. How APIs are built, why APIs are built, why, what is there in the request, what is there in the product, why, like response, why it is in that fashion, how, what is the importance of header, how to handle those headers, how to interact with the databases and whatnot. If you know those things, now tomorrow I can say, hey, you take 1 week, learn Java, and next week I can say, hey, now we will be working on Spring Boot example, right? And you're like, okay, I'm okay because I have a very good understanding of my fundamentals. Yeah, I'm ready to equip, right? That is what you're, as a fresher, that should be your thought process. Do not stick, have a tight coupling with any of the language or the framework, guys. That is the best advice I can give you ever in my life, till with whatever experience basically I have. That's the best advice. So please consider that. How to give 200% in an interview as a senior engineer? What could be a common practice we could think for proper for preparation for having a healthy conversation for any FE interviews, guys? Chalo, I will tell you a master stroke. How many of you wanted to understand some master strokes? I have something to share. I have something to share. How many of you are actually looking for that master stroke? Dude, I have. So I have a lot of those sugarcane lassis and whatnot. I generally don't get in Delhi, in Bangalore. So I just got cold, man. Cold in summers are, sorry for this. Okay. Yep. So how many wanted to hear the tricks, guys? I will tell you those tricks that you will love it, and go apply it and you will see the outcome. Okay. So the first trick, you have to understand the psychology of the other person. So do you really think it is easy to assess anyone that a person is great in 50 minutes or 1 hour, saying that, hey, this is the person who will change my team, or this will make revenue of X factor? Not that easy, right? What people are looking for, there are a couple of things people are looking for. One, what you have done, that's a proof of work. I can get a confidence if you have already done something in past, then most likely it's easy that you will do those things basically in future also. That's a proof of work. If your past experiences are great, your future experience are more likely to be great as well. The second thing is the zeal to learn and zeal to make impact, right? So it's like, hey, I did not get opportunity, it's okay, but really I'm looking for this thing. I'm looking for to make an impact, and I wanted to learn. I wanted to get the right set of mentorship, right? I need opportunity basically in order to do that. If you can show the second angle to the interviewer in one form or the other form, then that's a very good thing. The third thing which I'm going to talk about is very important. The biggest challenge with most of the early stage developers are, if I ask you, hey, can you solve a DSA problem, or can you get this assignment done or a problem done, or can you build this thing, a person will say, hey, yes, I can do this, give me some time, I will get back in some time and I can do that. If I ask you, can we do this in collab, let's share your screen, let's build together. If you're stuck, I'm going to help you, I'm going to guide you. Are you comfortable and can we do it together, right? I can bet there are only very small limited people of set of people who are confident to say that, yeah, let's do a screen sharing and let's do that coding together, right? I may not know something and may know something, I may Google something, I may ask you something. Irrespective of that, I'm comfortable to come to the screen sharing and let's do it together. People are looking for these folks. Why? In corporate, great products can't be built in silo. Great products can't be just built in a way like, hey, somehow I will Google, somehow I will do use AI, somehow I will copy paste, get it combined together, make it work, and we'll see what happened. No, that doesn't happen. Great product are built with collaboration. Great product are built with sharing your thought process, understanding the other's opinion, having those right kind of a combo of what other person are suggesting, what your thought process, discussing and coming with a great solution, right? That is what people are looking for in an interview. If you can build that culture of, hey, like we are, it's not one way, it's a healthy communication that looks like, right? You will love it, and you will like it, right? And ultimately you will see your outcome is going to be next level. So now what I meant by, so giving 200%, follow these 2 3 points which I have just suggested. You're just forget about conversation. You may not be 100% good at a lot of stuff, right? But you will see your interviewer outcome will be far better than what you have expected. Try that out. What's your thought on that, Evan? I have already talked about, is it going to impact? 100% it is going to impact. To those people who don't want it to change, people who don't want it to adopt are going to be impacted. That's 100% true. When the job market will be up, job market, I will tell you, if you think job market is not working, there is not no job in the market, there are ample number of job in the market. That's your myth, that there is no job in the market. The problem is there is always a funda of supply versus demand. Now supplies, like say suppose it was 100, now it is, say suppose 80. Example, 80% is still huge, but earlier the demand was, say suppose 150, now the demand is 300. You're understanding what I meant by your supply got hit by a small number and your demand got hit, right, by X factor. Now the problem is, for the same one seat, there are hell lot of people who wanted to apply. Now the difference is, earlier you are like, hey, I know some basics, I can survive in the job, hire me, I will perform when you hire me in the job. Now the difference is, hey, why do I hire you? Are you the right and the best person whom I am going to hire? That's a question. Because people don't wanted to burn their money in this microeconomic condition. I will say they don't wanted to waste the money in this microeconomic condition. That's a major uh, difference and impact that have came in the market, where still people pay a lot. I can see, I know a lot of company who are ready to pay you a lot of money, right? It's not about that. Are you capable enough? I'm not going to take bet on every developer. That's not possible for companies nowadays, and hence a lot of freshers got hit, which is 100% true. And hence, even you are a fresher, you have to be better than others, right? If you are in the top creams, then you always have demand, you will be in demand. But if you just have degrees and saying that, hey, I'm a software engineer, computer science, I got 85% in my btech, I was topper in my college, dude, ask for a job in your college only, right? So that's a kind of a environment that we are setting into, so that we have to understand. Yeah, I have already talked about how FE interview starts and how we can approach to the interview. How FE interview starts depends, guys. Front end interviews depends. If you are talking about UI tech interview, you are talking about machine coding interview, you are talking about system design, you are talking about problem solving, which kind of a round you are talking about, please help me with more detail. I will be happy to basically talk precisely around that. Else I can talk for 1 hour for this particular statement itself. Like, I will request to add that question. If multiple people are looking forward that, vote for that particular question, guys, so that we can prioritize that question. So how to contribute and apply front-end system design concept in our day-to-day job to have practical experience in building the production grade, you can say, app. One thing which I will suggest to everyone, I hope everyone is basically, uh, uh, everyone is actually chasing towards the deadline, right? I have a Jira ticket, I have a ADO ticket, Azure, you can say DevOps ticket, or any other platform, right? I have that ticket. I have given a timeline of 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, whatever it is, and I have to complete it. And your ultimate goal is somehow discuss with anyone, somehow Google it out, somehow make it work. The moment it works, the moment you see that this feature functionality is working, you go back and say that, hey, the PR is raised and the PR is in review, right? The moment you do this, you cannot actually apply your system design concept. System design concepts can be applied at two levels. One, at an initial level, when you actually start, when before actually you start coding, you think about, hey, what are the challenges that I will face, and what are the things of system design I have to take care in my assignment that I have given, or the task basically that I hold, right? Now once you know these are the things has to be implemented and tackled, you will ask for the right timeline. You won't say that I can give you in 2 hours, because 2 hours is just for this piece, and behind the scene there are a lot of unseen things that has to be chipped in, and that need few more hours or maybe a day or sort of. You will fight for the right timeline for those in order to do the justice to those features, right? That is one. Second, if you do the stuff early, probably think twice what I can improve in that task, instead of saying that, hey, give me more tasks, and I'm in a race to complete n number of tasks. So you won't believe, guys, you won't believe, there was a time in my career where I used to uh, resolve like easily 15-20 bucks basically with the PR raised and everything very easily in a day. At that pace I used to work. Like, give me a bug, I know where to go, where to find out, what to basically sort it out. That's a average that I used to do, right? Then I realized, dude, it is okay that I know how to solve this bug today, but how you can ensure that these bugs do not come in future? Are you doing taking the relevant measure for that or not? In case you are not taking, then that's a question, right? And hence you will never be able to apply those engineering stuff which is needed. You have to do the justice, and for justice you need the time. Like if you don't have time, you can't apply these system design concepts ever, right? And the best thing to apply those system design concepts in your is your current application, guys. Whichever product, whichever company you are working for, seek for an opportunity, look for the places where you can do that. You can see a lot of these stuff have been taught in the Namaste front-end system design. You might have seen, guys, most of the time when we discuss concepts, I always focus on, hey, focus on your current project where you can apply that. Interview is one part. Like you will be very easily able to crack it eventually, right? Going ahead. But how do you apply? How do you have the thought process? How do you seek the right side of mindset? Like that is something which is very important. And Namaste front-end system design, check the system front-end system design, right? So you will see all of those things I've talked a lot in detail. So I have learned technologies, but I can't code my own. I have to follow video tutorial and code side by side. Any suggestion? Learn in group. Do group studies, guys. Don't code in silos. Share your screen, code along. Sometimes you will make mistake, sometimes other will make mistake. You will learn from each other. So don't copy paste the things which you see on the screen. And most of the time that happens because I will tell you one small strategy, guys. One small story just I wanted to tell you. If you have to implement, consider example, if I ask you, hey, you have to build this big picture, maybe a painting, this much big painting. So what you are going to do, you are going to actually copy paste the things as it is. You will draw the things from one side and you will try to get it pixel perfect from the first cut itself, right? Because you wanted to have a complex structure design. On the other side, if I ask you, hey, you have to draw a mango, then I ask you, hey, can you make this mango bunch? Ask you, hey, can you add leaves to this also, right? What I meant by in that big painting, I'm asking you to focus on small pieces instead of a big painting. You may not need to refer to that painting every now and then for a small drawing also. What I meant by, so if you have to learn, please learn with a small code snippet. You will be able to code if you are actually looking for small pieces. Once you are get confidence in terms of syntactical sugar, then you will be able to follow the complex videos very easily. The most of the time the challenge is, without having a fundamental understanding, without getting your hand dirty in your syntactical sugar and whatnot, we start following a complex project. And what we end up doing, we don't understand any damn thing what is there. It's just that keep on following, acha, and finally it is working. It is like acha, and really we don't understand what happened over here, right? It's just that भैया ने कुछ कहा तो था, क्या करना था, इसके बाद भूल गया, ये कैसे connect होगा, right? That's a kind of a tendency we have. Reason being, we are following a complex stuff. Build small things. Build your own. Do mistake. Learn with each other. Do code sharing. Learn with buddies, right? If you learn with buddies, you will see the impact you are going to create. What are the technology to learn after MERN? Dude, if you learn, do the justice to the MERN, you have done a lot of things. It's just that you have to apply the MERN in the right fashion. You don't have to chase. It's not a race. It's not a race. मतलब भूखे पैदा हुए हो क्या, और दे दो. अरे, go and apply, feel it, taste it, consume it, right? So that is what you have to do. Is like, I will tell you, there are people who just know React and the surrounding fundamental, they earn well. There are people who knows Node well and their surrounding technology, they earn well. There are people who know database like in terms of Mongo and whatnot and their surrounding ecosystem, and they earn well. What I meant by, you are talking about a combo, dude. It's a hell. It's a sea, right? If you dig deeper, it's just that we only follow the part of a MERN that we see on the internet and say that, hey, we are able to build the API, attach it, we are done with the MERN. But it's not the case. Dig deeper, understand. Especially I will recommend, the depth is always system design. To be very frank, when we talk about, hey, how can I deep into any of those things? My answer will be dig deeper into system design. You will see the real software development. How do we get interview call from top notch companies, even applying with a referral also? Resumes are not getting shortlisted. Chalo, I will tell you a harsh truth in today's era. How many of you wanted to hear the truth about referral? Anyone who's looking to hear the truth about the referral? Let me see how many people are there. Yes, tell me the truth, the inner truth about the corporate world. So I will tell you a small truth. The first part of that truth is there are very few people actually who refers you, and how they may get back you and say that, hey, I have referred you. But I just don't wanted to blame anyone. It's just that the harsh reality is it's not their fault. Sometimes people are busy, so many people are reaching out, it's become not practically possible to actually refer, and people don't wanted to say that, hey, I don't have time, or I cannot do that, or hey, your profile doesn't look good to me. There can be n number of reasons why you are not referred, right? Now they don't wanted to say that upfront to you. Probably they end up saying, hey, I have referred you. So out of very funny factors, very funny factors, if 10 people are saying that, hey, they referred you, trust me, hardly 2 or 3 people out of them have actually referred you. And so don't believe that until unless you get a confirmation, right? Either a mail, or someone calls you up, right? Or someone does your screening, any kind of acknowledgement until you get, don't consider that you are referred until unless it is very startup company where people don't follow processes. They may directly refer through the email to their HRs basically, and HR says that, okay, I will see, I will shortlist and do that, right? So those can be very early stage companies where direct HRs take care of those things. Else companies have cycle processes and all sort of thing, and you will get acknowledgement in one way or the other if you are actually referred, right? Refer is not about, hey, I just uploaded somewhere, right? Refer has lot of responsibility to be done in order to ensure that you get a call, right? So so that is what I meant by. And if I will tell you interesting thing, guys, chalo, shall I tell you? uh, chalo, let me tell you. In almost all the companies, there are ways to reach out to the hiring manager or hiring your HR, basically the talent acquisition. So if you have a good relation with someone, if you have worked with someone, you can ask for a favor saying that, hey, you have referred me, thanks for that, but also can you reach out to the hiring person to just say, just spoke 2 line for me, so that at least I get a interview call, and rest I will ensure that like I do justice basically in the interviews, right? So it's likewise. If person is confident in you, they can. But most of the time people don't do, because hey, बेइज्जती करा दी पहले ही राउंड में, और कहा था रेफर कर दो, right? And that's why people don't wanted to like bring a negative image with any of the engineering manager, or you can say hiring people, and hence sometimes people don't reach out on your behalf, right? So that's what you have to understand. Cool. So how to survive in it, in IT field after 40 years, dude? To be very frank, I can tell you a number of stories. Do this, that, and give you gyan. I don't want to, because I don't know, right? 40 years is huge, guys. I have just touched 30, right? I've just completed 30, so I can't tell you the gyan of 40 years experience. Forget about years experience. I have not even completed 40s, so me giving that gyan won't work. But only thing which I can tell you, nothing is permanent, nothing is consistent. What you are doing right now and what you will do after 5 year or 10 year, no one can guarantee. So it's just that, make yourself flexible, be adaptive in terms to learn, be adaptive to accommodate with the environment, with the people, with the circumstances, with the challenges. That's the best thing basically I can tell you, man, right? So follow that. I think maybe not just 40 years, maybe that thing works even when you are going to die, right? So applied to around 60-70 companies and hardly getting a response, you're not applying in the right fashion, right? So just applying on the portal nowadays becomes tricky. Reason being, applying on the portal is like, as I said, their demand have increased, man. You have to understand. Now you are asking for, hey, this is a job profile. I will tell you. Chalo guys, I will tell you. In my company also, many of you guys have I have, I think I have posted 2 times basically related to job openings. One was related to the front end, second was related to the back end in my team, right? In that particular case, I think more than around 1,000 resumes I got on those, basically more than 1,000, I think. So what happened, basically, there was a new team which was going to hire basically entire team. So I shared those thousands of resume, because I cannot practically apply refer those thousands of resume, right? Although if I refer, I get a benefit, but again, for me it becomes practically different. And for the company, like, I do, if you get a hired through my referral or the post that you have, which I basically shared, you may get benefit, I don't get any benefit. And I was okay, it's okay, because thousands of resume, practically not possible here. Out of 3 people, 2 people are winning. Either one is you and second is company. The company is getting a entire team getting hired by those thousands of resume that we were having. So the entire team got actually hired from that particular one post which I did. So that is also happens, that also works sometimes. And what I meant by, you have to understand importance of, you are not applying to the right place, or you may be actually applying to some random things which is actually stale, which is not actively looked forward, right? Or people are not leveraging that sources for hiring. So I will highly recommend nowadays, reach out, try to get through hiring managers, or people who are senior at companies, people who are technical, you can say like TAs, or you can say any of those technical acquisition specialists, right? So those people can actually make you to the, at least the entry gate where your interview can get started. Rest, it's difficult, guys. It's unpredictable. Your resume may not have the quality. Your ATS, your resume is not selected by the ATS. Even your resume is selected by the ATS, because so many people are applying, you was not on the priority list. There can be n number of reasons, right? You may be applying to random things also. Like, there is a demand of 1 year experience or a 5-year experience. You have 1 year experience, still you are applying to application for a 5-year experience, dude. Those are screwed up things that we keep on doing. Right? And we say that, I applied to 70, dude. Out of 70, you actually applied to 7 relevant profile, right? That is what you have to always see for. And trust me, guys, I have seen, I shared a post for I think I shared a post for engineering manager, dude. Freshers applied on that post, where engineering manager minimum like 10-12 year of experience was expected, bare minimum, and freshers applied. And I was like, dude, before applying, at least give a minute thinking and seeing that where you are applying to, right? It's just that luck se interview mil jayega, luck se engineering manager ban jaoge kya, right? That's a small gap which I see right now folks have. And we have to understand, like, जॉब नहीं मिल रही है तो जहां भी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली वैसे कूद पड़े. So I was seeing some meme basically in Hyderabad. Some company was hiring, and for one post there were 3,000 people who are standing physically outside that company. Like, what's going on? And out of that 3,000, I can bet like more than 70% people are not like equipped with the criteria which is shared in the company, right? It's just that अरे यार जॉब मिल रही है, शायद आज भगवान की दुआ से कुछ हो जाए. You have to think. As a front-end developer, what are the things we should know about the authentication and authorization? Guys, authentication is all about, do you have permission to get into, right? Are you the right person, right? The authorization basically is around the right set of permissions, like roles and whatnot. Like, if you have access and you have the respective roles in order to operate, like you may have access in order to read things, but you may not have authorization for updating something, right? Performing some activity. So now certain things that you should know as a front-end developer, which is fundamentals, understanding those fundamentals, understanding if your system is rightly authorized. When I say system is rightly authorized, you have to think about route level, page level authentication. You have to think about component level authentication. Similarly, authorization is something most of the people don't really think, right? People sometimes think, hey, it's my job. Sometimes think it's not my job. You have to think from an end-to-end perspective. How users are consuming your application, how users are impacted in terms of if they have permission, if they don't have permission, what they are seeing. Either that particular component or a page is hidden, or you are going to show some experience wise some permission issues and whatnot. From those angles also you have to think whenever you are building any of those authentication and authorization. Some of the things which I will recommend: you should know a couple of headers, you should know some of things related to cookies. You have to think about where you are storing those authorization related and authentication related token, how you are ensuring that is secure, because whenever we talk about auth, we are majorly talking about security, right? So your thought process around the security, in order to ensure it is not leaked, ensure that right people are able to access, people are not able to tweak those information, that you have to think from a front end perspective. And similar thought process people should have from the back end side of perspective. Is check the system design enough for the front end interview as a good company? If you are a person who have started your career, right, you are working, right, you are not in college, right, you are actually working on front end, so I will highly recommend you so in short, if I have to tell in short, check the system design is for everyone, and everyone should basically watch it, right? Because in check the system design, I have not coded stuff, like I have not gone into so much technical depth that anyone can't understand. Almost even a fresher can understand the concept over there, at least the jargon. They understand how the system basically work, how system interact, what are the expectation in the interviews, how to approach, how to reach out. You'll get all those things in check the system design. Why this Namaste system design basically came into the picture? One is, hey, I understand things how to crack the interviews, but I really wanted to get into the companies where I wanted to work on those items, right? Can I get that strong technical understanding around all of those things? And hence, this Namaste system design helps you to go beyond check the system design areas in terms of technical implementation also. So lot of hands-on, lot of code practice is basically done in Namaste front-end system design, where you trust me, if there are two parts. I recommend people in such a way, you can crack interviews with just check the system design also. But Namaste system design becomes important for you when you wanted to implement, apply those things basically into the corporate, right? And hence that is important. So there are many things which we have added to Namaste front end system design, and trust me, it is going to be a place where you keep on learning in your future also. Like you may not get 100% today because you may have 2 year or 3 year experience, and you might not have touched those areas yet in the industry. But with the kind of a depth that we have covered in Namaste front end system design, I can bet next 5 years is going to be very fruitful for almost everyone who's actually leveraging Namaste front end system design. You have to, it should not be a course where you took it and you decided, hey, in 1 month let me complete everything. It should not be a course where I got I got a job offer, my job is done. It should not be course where you are looking for hey, I'm just chasing interviews kind of thing. It should be a course where you have problems, you need some thought process, you need to understand things better. You should come back and go into the respective module, consume that module, and see how you can leverage those learning in your current project, right? And hence, trust me guys, I can bet most of you, if you follow the check this system design, you can crack any damn company, like any damn company. Obviously, like if I've covered, say suppose some examples, and someone asks you beyond that example, then you should have put your brain, right? It should not be like, hey, if the system design which I covered, if same system designer covered, then you can crack. If something else is basically asked, you cannot even put your brain, then that's a question wala thing, right? But if you can get your fundamental understanding very well from that. Now, the thing is, you trust me, you take any companies. I can tell you, people got hired in Microsoft, people get hired in ServiceNow, people got hired in Facebook, people got hired in Google, people got hired in Apple. I can tell you hell lot of companies, Walmart, Flipkart, Atlassian. I know hell lot of people in Atlassian who got benefit from check the system design, right? Hell lot of people. Like if you go to these companies and ask them, hey, do you have you heard about check the system design? You will get everyone knows in the industry right now, right? So what I meant by getting into the companies, this is something which is early stage. You go free, you don't have even to pay. You get understanding. Now the point is, dude, I somehow came to some level designation, I cracked it. You won't be able to survive in the company. Reason being, you haven't done those things in practical. I've tell you the tricks, I've showed you what a senior developer and how basically those things are done, but you never did. And you have your seniors do that, and you are asked in that particular company to implement and achieve those things. Now you have a question mark, dude, how do I do that? That becomes tricky. Namaste Frontend System Design will help you to basically not just to crack, but also to help you to implement, apply those things in your current project, in your current company, so that you can get promoted. You have a exponential trajectory in your career. So that's what you will get benefit basically. That's a perk that you get. How do you find FE dev learning amidst weekday office work? Is it possible? How to manage? Dude, it's all about passion. If you feel like the current salary that you're getting is good, if you feel like, hey, I am married, I have kids, I have good resource learning, I have good projects, you may not be interested in learning. There are people, I will tell you how I have learned most of these things. To be very frank, I won't lie anything to you guys. I generally don't want to lie with anyone. You ask me anything, I will be crystal clear, no makhan malai, nothing. It's straightforward. I have learned most of these things by applying those things in the company, right? So I've faced problems, I have struggled, I have went through a number of things, I have figured it out how these things can be done, right? And most of my learning is through my practical experiences that I had. Now what does it mean? You should chase for good projects. When you have good complex project, you actually you have to basically look for learning, right? Either in office hour, after office hour. Best is if you work at your work, doing your work, doing your project, implementing something at your company, right? That is the best learning, because you learn and you implement and you productionize, and it's not like once it is production your job is done. Even customer reports, there are issues, there are complete cycle that happen, and you learn, hey, I was able to ship to the production, but then n number of issues came. Maybe some of the things basically I did a mistake, or I shipped it once, but no one else is able to contribute or maintain the things which basically I contributed. Then there is something problem. All of these comes basically over the period of learning for a longer duration. That's what happens. So I will always recommend for people, just give me a second, someone's calling. Okay, yeah. So basically what I was talking about. So I was saying, if you get a chance to work on things in your current company, in your project, your learning will keep on happening. If not, I will highly recommend, guys, stop just chasing for interviews and learning. So learn and implement, learn, implement, learn, implement. That's a rule of a life, and that's a growth trajectory. And if you are not able to learn, I will always recommend change your community. Start spending time with good folks, and you will eventually see you will get everything. People are investing, people are doing some crazy stuff, you will get some side effect and you will start doing those things. Do I need to learn full stack to survive in the field, or it is, dude, you don't have to become a jack in all field. Become expert in one thing and have an understanding of other side of the thing. So is I'm a SD1, should I focus on becoming a FE expert or a ML expert? Whichever gives you a kick. Wherever you feel like, hey, this is something which I understand well and I can make impacts, go for that. Don't opt any one of those things which is temporary. You have to just dhakka maar gaadi. Like, I don't understand these things, but this is cool and hence I have to be here. Please don't do that, right? पापा ने कहा था कि मेरा लड़का डॉक्टर बनेगा, डॉक्टर की छोड़ो, मतलब डॉक्टर तो बन गया, पर पेशेंट का क्या हो रहा है ये जानो, राइट? So you have to understand if that really gives you kick, or you are just for a namesake, you are a AIML engineer or developer. If you invest 1 week, you will get an idea. Invest 1 week on AIML, you will get an idea if this is a like piece of cake for you or not. Is the front end back end good skill to learn to get a job in this LLM or chat GPT era? Everyone is so okay. I will tell you how many people are actually contributing to AIML. Almost everyone is consumer of LLM and chat GPT. People are consumer of LLM and chat GPT. There are very few percentage of people who are contributing to AIML, right? So you have to understand the consumption will happen in one of the place. Using chat GPT or LLM, you are going to consume in one of the product, either contributing on the front end and back end, right? These are itself not a interface to actually get consumed, right? So you have to understand from those perspective. How to find front end related companies and apply for a job? So there are so many portals, so many things which I have shared on the LinkedIn post as well, in the communities, also in our discussion. In case you still don't know, wherever you are, either on the Discord or a WhatsApp group, please tag me again. I will help you with those relevant things. Will you guys create any video on the topic that are asked in the numbers? Yep. Why not? It's just a matter of fact. So guys, trust me. Chalo, I will tell you a small truth. Okay? A small truth that I wanted to help you. Did anyone told what to teach in system design? Did anyone knows what to teach in system design? How much depth need to be taught? How many videos are relevant? Each video, how much depth is relevant? Did anyone asked it? Did anyone asked it? No. No one asked for it. No one asked in the entire course, or anyone who have asked like, hey, this is what other people are, this is what exists, and this is what we are expecting. So guys, trust me, right now we are trying to give our best. Guys, I have been working on this since last May 2023. It's going to be around 1 year. What to teach, how much to teach, how much depth it has to be. Then me and Akshay had discussion at the end of a year where we decided, hey, let's do it together and whatnot. What I meant by, I have put a lot of thought in order to like do justice to these this particular course. Now the point is, I don't want it to just chase for the namesake, saying that, hey, this is the checkbox, these are 4 or 5 videos, these are completed, and the course is ended. It's very easy, right? I can complete this course in, say, suppose by March itself or coming April, and say that, hey, bye Tata, now let me work on some different course basically and do something. Why not chasing for, even if you go for HLD video, even you go for any of the video, you have seen the kind of a depth and kind of a duration those videos have, dude. Like I never see the timer before I start recording. I don't care if it takes me to go to depth in order to teach you 2 hours, 2.5 hours, make a movie or make a TV series. Doesn't matter. I will try to give my best. Even the team is trying. Everyone in the team is trying to give their best, right? If you are chasing for, hey, fatapat, let's complete it, I can do it. Who's going to go for a loss, right? You have to think about, right? And hence, sometimes I come up front and basically ask for some time because I wanted to do justice. I could not get time in order to do the detailed analysis and detailed, thorough, you can say, video recording because of some commitment, something which basically is just that I don't want it to compromise on the quality. My simple funda is, I can be late, I can't compromise on the quality. I believe on that funda, right? So the only point is, there are, say, suppose 5 videos, there are few more videos which are pending. Example, if you go through those 5 videos and learn 100%, I can bet you can go to any damn company and you can crack any system design interview, right? It's just that for giving you more taste, more practice, more diversion, more diversity and whatnot, those other kind of flavors are important, right? But how to give, how to basically crack, you will see all of them. So importantly, if you go through the high level system design videos, I have taught you SEO. I have taught you almost all the tricks that is there in search engine optimization. I have covered the internationalization and localization in one of the high level design, right? What I meant by, these may not be part of the modules which are explicitly listed over there, but I know these are some concept which has to be taught to you. It may not be there in the module format. I will bring in some other format in some of the HLD and whatnot, so that you have understanding, right set of understanding. So it's just that you have to just have faith, some support, some trust, and lot of love in order to do the justice to what we are doing it together. That's what only expectation. Everything will come, maybe in one way or the other way, sometime up and down. Everything has to come, and trust me guys, either it will come on the group in this course, I will either bring on the YouTube, wherever it is. I'm here to teach you guys, right? We are here to teach you. So just have faith. I rarely work in React, 90% backend only. Should I prepare for the front end and aim for the front end companies? Why? Like if you are doing backend, you love backend, why you wanted to get into like front end? Like why? Seriously, if you're doing it, if you're loving it, you can have an understanding. But why you wanted to switch your career? If you are not loving backend and you find front end interesting, yes, you should do. It's just that because you are part of you can say this group, or part of front end for everyone, or you have taken Namaste React or Namaste front end system design, hence you feel like, Achha, everyone is talking about front end, let me do that. Sorry, please don't do that. Please don't play with your career. That is what I will recommend you. Startup ask for the development more, and good companies ask for the DSA for short link. How to balance between two as a fresher? How much DSA for front end? I always say, don't take front end as a different thing. Whenever you are doing in front end, whatever you are doing in front, whenever it comes to the problem solving, please stop googling and copy pasting utility function from the Google internet. Try to implement your own. The more you implement your own utility helpful function, you have to less mug up the DSA, because your thought process, your brain will start working in that fashion. Unless you are mugging up like DSA and googling out, you can say, those stuff, then boss, that's a difficult thing. Now talking about DSA, if you know about string array, you are able to work on object, or you can see the map, you are able to work on stack and queues, more than enough. Like early stage developer in almost good companies also, you can do that if you have good understanding on the product. Like if you are fresher, if you don't know anything, the expectation, the only thing which a company has, chalo, let's do some problem solving and see the analytical thinking of the person and the coding skills. That's all. But if you have done shows through the product, then you have something to showcase, and that is what companies are looking forward. Nowadays you might see people have stopped asking data structures, almost like bit of problem solving which is used in front end, obviously 100% they will ask, but explicitly problem solving around or DSA around, in many companies have stopped for front end developer. Reason being, dude, you don't do day and out in the companies. And even in the back end, you will see eventually a storm will come, and it has started sparking, where your DSA, the weightage of DSA have reduced a bit, and the weightage of system design have increased a lot. For senior developer, that is 100% that have started happening, and eventually you will see that storm coming in other phases also. Recently I got an offer from a company with 30%. I rejected it. The main reason is I have permanent work from home, and that is work from office, so I'm looking for at least 50%. Fine, your expectation is wrong, man. Like, why I say your expectations is wrong, you don't know your preference. If your preference is money, like if I go to office, I have to spend more, you may find out other ways also. Like then your justification to 30% hike isn't correct. Like 20% extra isn't correct, right? I always recommend people to see the best opportunity at hand and move on. Most of the people are not able to grow in their career because what they are looking for, either I will go double, either I will go triple, either I will jump, or even I am not ready to take step ahead. So guys, it's a matter of I always say one simple thing, which is, consider you are going from Mumbai to Goa. Life, your career is a trip from Mumbai to Goa. You're traveling from Mumbai to Goa. Now you won't find the same road, same speed, same environment outside. You have to see the best time, best place, best surrounding in order to take decision. The speed which you are driving, maybe within a city, You may not be driving when you get a highway, right? It's more around whenever you get opportunity, you accelerate, and whenever you see the traffic, you know how to like reduce your speed and basically move accordingly. So see whatever opportunities you have in hand. Don't take examples of other guys. Everyone have their own life, their own way of living, own trajectory. Please do not follow any bhaiya didi in such cases saying that, hey, that person did in that fashion, now I am also going to take that decision. We make mistakes in such cases, guys. I am 1 year experience in front end, written test cases in entire 1 year. Enroll Namaste React. If I enroll Namaste front end system, will I get a job as a 1 year experience? Please. Oh, dude, one thing which I can bet to everyone. Uh, One thing which I can bet to everyone is one simple thing, guys. If you cover Namaste front end system design, Chakde front end system design, if you cover these two things, I can bet one guaranteed thing. If you are 1 year experience, after this course, your experience will be tripled. Your experience will be tripled. You can go and talk to any 3 year experience. You will have more knowledge as compared to that particular guy. Right? That is what you have to think. So, guys, acha, one thing, I'm not sure if everyone knows me. Like, not sure. So, guys, does everyone knows where I work? I see some of the people who don't know where I work. I work at Microsoft at L64 level. If you, in case you are not aware of that, let me share that, guys. So I'm just sharing a few things with you guys. If you are not following me by any chance, if you are not following me on, you can say LinkedIn or YouTube, please check that out. What I meant by your experience is going to be tripled, I can bet. Go watch those things, try to understand, try to apply, you will see the benefit. And I can say, if you are working experience, if you are a working professional, Namaste front end system design is for you. If you are 100%, if you are working professional, I can bet it is for you, and you will see lot of benefit. It's just that you may not get 100% of things in day one, which should be the expectation, because over here the content is covered from 0 year of experience to hell lot of year of experience, right? I have put all my uh, you can say the things which I wanted to teach on the front end system design, the major part of things I have put on that particular course, right? And you will see my experience, my learning also in almost all the places. Things to take care when I am creating projects from scratch for production: folder structure, design system. Is there any reference repo? I can recommend you many of them, but I will recommend to follow open source project. When I say open source project, say example, if you are talking about like building backend, so I will recommend to follow their frameworks. You go and check the framework for React, you will get lot of ideas. You go and check for any of those popular to do applications, like you go and search for to do app in React. There is a, I can share you those links also. There is a one famous app which shows you React like to do application in all the popular frameworks and libraries, right? So follow those folder structures, you will get a great ideas around that. Especially open source, any of the open source people, many people contribute, and those are very good quality. I have built 8 projects in React, JavaScript, 4 in Node.js. Considering my background, would it be wise to purchase TypeScript and Next.js? Yes, why not? Like, you wanted to upskill your knowledge. TypeScript, I will say, must have to everyone. Next.js, yes, which is kinda important if you are looking forward a bit on the back end side of the stuff, right? So although people say Next.js is for React on the front end, that's their myth. I can't understand whether I really love front end or not. I took front end because most of my teammates don't know. Is it good for growing career? It is good. See if you are getting a kick. If you are early stage, if you have not tested the other side of the stuff, I will recommend. Guys, acha, tell me one simple thing. Basically, I wanted to tell you guys. You have to understand. People say that I don't know what to do in my life. I don't know if backend is good, front end is good, AI ML is good or whatnot. and people are not ready to invest even 500 rupees, 1000 rupees or 2000 rupees in order to decide if that is good for your career or not. Because whenever it comes to investing in your own career, we think 1000 times. Why should I give you 500 rupees? Who the hell you are to give you 1000 rupees, right? There are n number of YouTube channel, or hey, there are n number of places where I will learn for free. And because of that understanding, we are never able to take that step, because that's a free, and no one cares for the free, right? That happens, that's a truth. Now what I meant by, take, if this was not the case, you might have gone through पानी पूरी वाला भैया पिज्जा, अरे डोमिनोज का अच्छा नहीं था, आज पिज्जा वाला, पिज्जा हट का बेसिकली खाएंगे, और यार इस भैया के छोले भटूरे नहीं बकवास है, आज चलो आज मूर्थल जाके खा के आएंगे, राइट? इफ यू आर फ्रॉम दिल्ली, राइट? In that case, investing many thousands of rupees just for one time, basically in order to taste something because you love that, we are okay. But when it comes to our own career, own growth, where investing 500 rupees can actually benefit bare minimum 50,000 rupees in your career growth, we like, oh, why to take, everyone is giving free, why it is being charged? Psychology, human psychology, Indian psychology, no one can actually say anything, but you have to grow up, guys. The best investment in your life is the investment that you do on yourself. I'm not saying you take front end system design or front end for everyone. I don't care, so, to be very frank, because that much amount, both the side of the thing that people have seen are very nominal charges, where I've also sell the courses for 100 rupees, and now even the big chunks are there. It's a matter of time, it's your choice what you have to do. It's just that what I meant by, you have to think about, hey, is it good for me? Is it going to help me? Is it going to help me within 10x in my career or not? So dude, the chola bhatura and the pizza that we had, it actually degrades our health and all whatnot, right? But still we love it, and we invest it. Even I do it. There is nothing wrong. What I meant by, the things which are short term, just for taste, and when you have to pay lot more in order for the indigestion, for the hangover, and for all sort of thing, we are still okay. But when it comes to career, we are very much optimistic, like, dude, it is coming for 499, I am going to wait for the day when it is, till the time it is 399, because one of my friend have taken. Dude, you wasted 2 months in order to wait for from 499 to 399, just because of that 100 rupees example, right? You actually wasted your 2 months. In 2 months you might have grown your knowledge in a fashion, you might have damn changed your company, or you asked for the appraisal in your company. You're getting what I meant by, you have to think from those angles. The smart people think from investment and getting a return, wise people. And some people think about, hey, I have this amount, how can I save this amount, right? So that, I don't know if that amount can make you survive for the entire life. Sometimes that how to be consistent while doing office work, how to be consistent. Consistency is very difficult, guys. Is the toughest thing, is the toughest thing that I've seen. For me, I have personally seen, the only thing which I see which can make you consistent is, don't lie with yourself, have the commitments for things, and follow great people. Like when you follow great people, when you have good people in your surrounding, they are doing something very much in commitment fashion, like see your parents waking up early at the same time, doing the daily routine work at dedicated time. See, take them inspiration. It may not be your field, it may not be coding, but they have a very good routine and they are consistent around something. Make them, these people, your inspiration, and hence you can become consistent in any of those fields. So that is how I basically see that. And have good environment, good culture, good friends. I am 2023 graduate and got a front end developer job in Execo. What things I focus now, become a better developer, and what should be my future roadmap? I will say the things that you should follow or do. Just take this blindly. I can bet on that. Blindly take this, watch this, check this system design. Blindly take this Namaste front end system design course. I can bet you will have a great trajectory. You have just started your career, guys. Have a deep dive into the career first, right? And you will see the how the words look like, right? How to be constant, how to be in constant learning while you get into the mentoring and lead role. where most of the time in a day goes in helping juniors and other supervision tasks. Acha. So I will tell you guys, there are two ways. One, people who are mentoring and leading others, sometimes they help junior and do the supervision task by the understanding they have. The other way is whenever you are suggesting someone, helping, mentoring, guiding in terms of the code reference, best practice, you also learn. No one is saying that you have to only mentor in things which you know. There are always things which have improved from the time when you learn those things, right? So please, your learning is not independent of what you are actually doing with your junior. It's a part of it. If you start thinking it's a part of it, then your learning always happen. Like when you are coding, can we code together? Can we do screen sharing, right? Oh, I think I know this solution. Let me Google out and tell you what are the other options which are possible. Think in that direction. Your learning will never stop. And whenever you get time, please do some small POCs along with your developer. Get into lot more technical discussion with your developers, junior developer. See what solution they have. Try to suggest the other solution. Google it out. Search for the other possible solution, and hence your learning will keep on happening. 2 year experience front end developer recently switched to the impetus stick as Angular developer. What should I aim for the next 2 years? You have just you are 2 year experience, guys. Like it seems to be saying very odd that I always end up saying that, hey, you are this much experience, go and look for the front end system design. Trust me, that is the next thing that every developer should know. And hence we created this, and hence I will highly recommend, confidently I can say that this is the next thing for you. Like once you are done that, you can come to me and I can tell you n number of other options. But if you have not done the system design, please do it. Your it is an eye opener for most of the people, right? What are the things what are the things keep to become front end architecture? How to decide which framework or library which we use? This is an explicit question which I have covered a lot more detail in one of the video in Check This System Design. Please watch this. If you don't find that video, ping me, I will give you that video. I have covered this in lot more detail. Is there are HLD and LD round, or both are person with the 3 of experience? What, please provide some insight into keep of question, kind of a question which are asked. Again, guys, I think a lot of people have not check the system design. I have explicitly given a lot of question related to what are the question from high level design. Recently I created a roadmap for front end system design in 2024, where I have talked about what are the questions which are asked in high level design and low level design. I will recommend, guys, search for the video which I have actually created for a roadmap for front end system design. Watch that video. It covers the examples like low level design mostly talks about, hey, I'm going to give you a component, can you build it? I am going to give you a machine coding assignment, can you do that? I am going to give you a big complex component, can you break that component and tell me how it is going to be structurally aligned? Those kind of a question comes in low level design, right? High level design, hey, I am going to give you a blurred problem statement, can you tell me how it is going to work end to end, right? That's kind of a high level. Like, can you build a high level system design of a news feed that we have? Can you build for the WhatsApp, how WhatsApp works? Can you build it for Uber like application? Can you build for Google Maps, right? So any of these questions comes in the high level design. A lot of things discussed on the Namaste front-end system, how to revise and take note. Guys, take your own notes. I always recommend. I always say that create your own note. Reason being, if there is one reason why I don't give my own notes. Reason being, I have my own way of learning. I have my own way of creating notes. People have their own way of understanding. If I give you a book, right? Literally I have to give, if I have to give notes to you guys for the entire system design, it may be a plethora, this much big book, which I have to share with you guys in order to these are my notes. Consider example, right? I don't maintain, as I have said, those slides that you see, I don't maintain those, but still, if I have to give you the notes, I have to create the notes. This will be the notes. A book, is it practically feasible for you to basically go through the video and again go through a book which is a notes? No. You create your short notes, you create references in terms of the timestamp and whatnot. Hey, this is the topic, and these are timestamp and these videos which I have seen. If needed in future, you can always go to that and take a reference to that. That way basically you can learn and create small pointers, small concepts that are important that you feel, and keep on checking those things. If you start applying to your you can say project and whatnot, hey, out of these 100, I have actually applied these 5 or 6 things in my project, right? That is how basically you start learning your system design. I'm confused what are to focus on, front end or the back end or the full stack. Start with one thing. The biggest confusion is what to start, and the simplest solution is start with one thing. How can I maximize the benefit of the LinkedIn premium account to secure a call from the recruiter at a fang level companies? So one of the best, you can actually message people. Although I'm not a I'm not a salesperson from the LinkedIn premium, obviously I can't give you a sales pitch around this. Not at all. But still, how I see that, you can actually reach out to the people easily. So you can search people easily. Your kind of a filters that you get are very strong. So try to search out for hiring manager people, search out for the post where people have actually mentioned, hey, we are looking for expanding the team, we are doing something, experimenting something. You can easily reach out to those people if you have LinkedIn premium. And that is the best thing which I see you should start leveraging if you aren't leveraging. What question you ask when you depends. I think we can have this discussion separately. A lot of stuff. So is there any shield between the tabs to access the storage data in the browser, like cookies, local storage of the other tabs in browser? Most of the things you can't. Most of the things, like there are many things which are shared cross tabs, there are many things which are not shared cross tabs, which I've covered in our storage, data storage videos. Still, if you are not able to get it, I will recommend to ping me on the either the Discord or the WhatsApp, as I said, where we can have a specific discussion around that. But before you basically ask this, I will recommend to go through the database and caching video which I have created, the entire module. Is I'm using some extension in the browser, do they impact their code, or how do we prevent some of their functionality of them not mess up CSP to execute? Yeah, so hence Chrome, any of the browser says that, hey, if you're installing those extensions, be very careful. And if there are other things, you should, if you are applying the right set of CSP, even those extensions are getting injected, they have the initial prefix as a different source altogether, so that does not get executed in your code base if you have played with the right set of CSPs. But again, most of the time, guys, because it's your browser, you are adding an extension, there is no 100% guarantee, like even if you add the CSP, it is your code is secure. Like, no, your applications are not secure if you are having damn random browser extension. Although browser extension, like I have created extensions, browser extension, those have review processes, those have permissions related stuff. You can't randomly access anything. There are always permissions that has to be given by the user, right? Hey, I wanted to access this or that and that, and hence even those permissions has to be granted by the approver on the extension team, right? So it's not that easy, but still anything happen. The JavaScript code, it's on the client browser, there are hacks, there are tricks, guys. How do we improve? How did you improve your English? I don't have any hobbies, I just learn, but not too very good what to do. Did you learn from you started working? So guys, chalo, let me tell you one simple thing, very simple and straightforward thing I just wanted to share with you guys, which is i'm not from a very I'm not from a very, you can say, big college or schooling. My schooling was average, my college was also average, right? Not even average, guys. Like my schooling was below, to be very frank, and all of those things. It's just that you have to understand sometime, like, hey, what is that something if I invest on, it is going to give lot of stuff back to me, right? It is going to give me growth, it is going to give a positive impact in my career, right? It can be anything. It can be speaking. It can be, hey, I know how to interact with people. I know how to greet people. I know how, maybe English is one of them. If you are not in India, you are at other place, you know that, hey, I need to connect with lot of people who speak French, Spanish, right? You may be learning new languages. What I meant by, you have to understand, if you are not interacting with people who speak English, you are in some villages, you doing some business and whatnot. Yeah, you maybe you do not need to have a very good communication skill in terms of it. You need to have communication skill good, but not in English, right? So everyone should have a great communication skill. Language is subjective, like depending on where you are. English is something which is globally accepted. If you are like going anywhere doing any damn thing, most likely people know English. When I say most likely, not 100%. In India, you may see almost everyone speaking that. When you go to different countries like Russia, Japan, China, your expectation is not correct, right? Have good communication skill. Know how to represent yourself, how to speak well, right? That is your should first target should be, and English comes with the practice. Guys, people who say that I don't have good buddies, I don't have any hobbies, please build that, right? Guys, chalo, I will tell you one more fun fact. In early stage of your career, even for me, I was working like 24 hours. I was chasing for money, growing and whatnot. After some time, you realize, dude, why you are doing it? What you get? You have stopped doing all your hobbies which used to give you a kick. Like teaching was my hobby. That was my passion. I used to do it from my college time with my all my whole heart. I love doing it, right? I stopped doing it when I joined the corporate. Reason, I was on a different track altogether, chasing different thing. Then I realized, dude, I am earning, but I am not happy with what, like, because I wanted to do something else as well, right? And that was my hobby. I stopped like doing my hobbies, and one of my hobby was teaching. And hence I realized, I said, no, I have to come back. I have to do this because this is something which I like. This is something which makes me alive. And I decided back in 2022, around 2021, 2022, and there I started, right? And what I meant by, please, everyone have hobbies. Everyone have hobbies. Even you can have any damn hobby. If you are traveling, can be hobby, right? Connecting with people, talking with people, watching movies, you can have any damn hobbies, right? So everyone have hobbies, just leverage that hobbies. In backend, I highly recommend book in I highly recommend book intensive application. Any similar book recommendation for front end for going into deep dive? There are very few. To be very frank, there are very few. I can share those one two books basically that we have. There are specific books to dive into something, but in generic, if you talk about diving into it, there are very few. This is one of the good book which I also know. I haven't read this book, but I know about this book. But again, I will recommend guys to ping me. Whatever I have, I can share you. Again, there are people who have written great book on React, great book on Angular, specific thing. But handling the data on the front end, very few resources. I can check back. Please ping me on the respective channel. What are the best practices for the secure token traditional unit? How can we implement refresh token functionality? I will recommend because talking about just this won't do the justice. Please leave this on the channel, on the Discord channel or the WhatsApp group. I will take it up, and basically I will ensure that in some of the discussion I take this up. In some of the high level design, I will try to cover this topic. How we can we effectively manage access control and implement role segregation? Again, this is one of my top of mind basically to cover. In security, I have talked touch upon this. I haven't created the video for that, but this is top of my mind. Once I'm done with the critical part basically which I wanted to cover, I will cover this video for sure. For a chat room, using the socket.js, should messages be stored in the front end? No, never. Messages are never stored, like for the caching purpose for short duration, yes, but those are not reliable. Like in WhatsApp, it is stored, but nothing to do with the message sharing with other people and whatnot. We don't do that. only the message which can be relevant, which you have stored in local, in offline cases. Like if you are offline, still you can communicate, and once you are back to the connectivity, the message gets synced from your local system to the upstream system, and where on the backend it started emitting to the other user. That can helpful. Rest, it is just to make your performance better in your local, in offline mode, in your initial load. That's why we store those messages. Else for those communication, nothing to do directly. How authentication, and as I said, auth part, it is my top of mind. I will cover. I have almost 5 year experience in, now I wanted to switch the product based company. How should I start? So that we have talked about many of those strategies. First, I will recommend, start looking for referrals. Start looking for referrals. Second, be good at system design, be good at JavaScript, be good at fundamentals of React and whatnot. You will be able to crack it. Things to do to move from SD1 to SD2: need office tips, front end topics to learn, being good techie, also a good IT employee. This is something a good. Please, whoever have written this, can someone ping me this question on the chat? I will create a small video around this, especially because what you have asked is a good question, and I don't want it to do injustice to this question, right? Please tag me. If some person is not there, anyone who can copy this and tag, basically, that will be really helpful. Can you please cover the auth? I will cover. I have taken the note. What are the key skills candidate must be in order to crack Mang, as well as the working those companies smoothly? Again, office tips, I will cover. What are the areas should we focus for preparing the Mang based companies? Problem solving, machine coding, and system design. Please add one more video on the virtualization list. By the way, virtualization list I have covered in one of the high level design also. Please check news feed video. You will get content related to virtualization. And there is a video which is created by Akshay also in the LLD. Please check those two videos. There is one video related to virtualization in my Check the System Design series also. Can you provide an example of how to approach check HLD video where I have covered how do you cover the LLD part of a component designing. Check the first video of high level system design. Please check that. As we have front end system design, is there any something like backend system design as well? And what is I have talked about this already. Node, I have talked about this. From the review and the free resources, I have seen some of this course. The content does not seems on point. It has a lot of unnecessary word or information. It depends. So consider example, guys. It depends on. So I will tell you, nowadays the problem is the people who give gyan, they have experience of 1 year, or they have started their career. Coincidentally, people got into good company, or they were good into some fundamental thing, they got into good company, right? People start giving feedback and assessing on the things based on their understanding, right? What I meant by, try to connect with people who are experienced, who have worked in the industry. They will tell you if there are unnecessary things, if those things are valuable or not. Don't take feedback from people who themselves have not done something good in their career. They just, sometimes people assess based on their knowledge. Sometimes people assess, they have not gone. I know a lot of people who have not covered like 2-3 videos even, and they basically will give you a lot of gyan. So my always recommendation is, take feedback from a knowledgeable person, an experienced person, or you go and experience yourself, right? That are only two things which I will suggest, because in terms of feedback, you may know that in like you go to any of the product on Amazon, on you can say Flipkart, right? You will get a lot of crazy feedback which has to do nothing with the reality, and you will get very crazy in terms of negative feedback also. People who have not used the product altogether because they are from some other place, there are a lot of things happen. Like, I don't wanted to even get into, when I am consider myself as a teacher, I don't consider as an anything that happens in the industry in terms of the competition, brand, and there are so many things happen, guys. I try to stay back from a lot of those stuff, right? My thing is, like, follow people who have done something in career, people who just give gyan, right? So you have to see, like, you have to decide whom to keep yourself mentor, right? People who just follow someone and give the gyan without experiencing or doing something in life, or people who have done. I'm not saying don't consider me. Take feedback from people who are experienced and who have done that, who have gone through the videos, and then you come back and say that, hey Chirag, this is not up to the mark. I'm happy to take that in a positive spirit, and I'm happy to learn myself those things, and happy to go beyond what I know today. But if a genuine person come back and talks something which is meaningful, if you talk a random shit and you don't have any damn understanding of what you're talking, then I can just smile and laugh inside and say that bade ho jao, right? But you understand, right? You have to understand. uh, oh, I accidentally maybe clicked that. Please make a mock interview of system design. I take mock interviews on top mate. We'll see if we something related to this can be planned. We'll plan something around that. Which organization do you work? I work at Microsoft at L64, which is lead engineering manager kind of a stuff at level. Thank you. First of all, I'm working as a MERN developer, thinking to switch FE. Basically, in a good PBC, how Namaste course help me, guys? One, it will help you to crack the interview. That is 100%. Second, the thought process, the learning level that you will have after this course, I can bet your thought process, your maturity will spike to minimum 2 to 3 year. Minimum 2 to 3 year, your knowledge base is going to spike. That I can bet confidently to everyone who's actually taking that. Like, if you go through video, if you follow those things, and if you feel your knowledge is not grown to that level, if you assess with someone previous to that and assess with after watching this videos and going through the course, you can call me at any place, man. I'm that much confident, because the content, the depth, the thing which I have built. So guys, there is a reason for confidence. Like, it comes because of some purpose. My reason, dude, you won't believe. People who are working in industries at like 10 year of experience, very good companies, you can't imagine. People who are sitting at Google, people who are sitting at Microsoft, people who are sitting at n number of position, right? They have taken this course, right? They have taken. I recently got a ping from one of the company where someone wanted to take this for the entire organization. Like, they are having multiple front end developers, and they wanted to actually purchase this like, you can say, front end system design for the entire team, so that everyone can grow, right? So people who know, they understand what it is, right? And people who don't, they just chase for, hey भैया, वो वाला स्ट्रैटेजी होता है ना, दिल्ली चांदनी चौक वाला, अरे भैया पड़ोसी तो 200 रुपए में दे रहा है, तुम 300 रुपए में दे रहे हो, अरे भैया वो तो इसके साथ एक और चीज टी शर्ट भी फ्री दे रहा है, राइट? वो थॉट प्रोसेस है. डोंट वरी, दैट हैपेंस. बट I always recommend you can question around that. No questions around those things, right? It's just that you see what you are getting out of it, right? Try to benefit maximum out of that. That's the only thing which I will recommend. Thank you, first of all. So please go through that. I can ensure you are going to benefit 100%. Things to do to move from SD1 to SD2. Need of, by the way, anyone who has not taken, again, I'm not selling anything, guys, because I have done things at those prices. You won't believe it takes more prices, more cost for me to run those things, in terms of the infra, in terms of, you can say, n number of those things, right, guys? It's more more you can say maintenance and other thing for me. But I will recommend people who have concerns about what are the roles responsibility we had at a different level, as a SE1, SE2, SE2. what are the company related or cultural related stuff that we have. This is a course, Frontend for Everyone, which I actually built for this purpose, where I can talk about the reality, where I can tell you the exact thing at exact level, expectation from every angle, from learning angle, from financial angle, from hell lot of other angles. Those videos are actually there. So if you're interested, you can take those. That, and it's a very cost effective, man. It's a very cost effective. So just go for that, try for that. And I'm not sure, maybe try this. I think today is the last day for this offer also, like holy 2024. I'm hoping that offer is still active. Just try that. Do and don'ts as a senior developer, I have covered in that Front End for Everyone. Please go watch that. It is must for everyone, guys. Are there any assignment for each videos? I have not created assignment section. There are ask in the videos itself, asking you, hey, can you basically do this as an assignment? Can you go beyond and implement those things beyond those things, right? Those kind of assignment basically I have given, not explicitly section. Like videos inside are asking you to uh, stop for some time, think about, then basically implement or approach certain things. Those kind of things are there. I really appreciate your content coming from a last year summer intern from your team. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you, man. 2023 pass out, looking for the first breakthrough in the React. Any tips from your side? Thank you for taking so deep. I relate it, most importantly, enjoy the process. Good to know, man. First breakthrough in React. I've given some of the tips, guys, not just related to React. I have talked some of those important thing, like it is nothing to related with the React, guys. We have to understand the only one important thing in any of the interview which you can help person to ensure that a person understand that you have a great passion, you have understanding, and there are gaps which you are ready to learn and basically up a skill. That is everyone want to. Like example, when you are a 2 year experience and you are a 5 year experience, there are lot of thing a person have a difference in 2 year experience and 5 year experience. If you are in a same company, that learning has to happen in same company. That learning will only happen in that company if you are ready to learn, right? And that is what you have to prove in the interview. Dude, I am here to learn, right? I am here to learn and give back to the company. And where you have to show some time excitement, or this is something I never thought. Yes, this is something which I'm looking for. Just give me a second. Someone is calling me. Just give me a moment. Okay. What are the guys? Maybe we'll cover. I will try to cover as much as possible. Let's see. We'll take 5 more minutes. I will try to cover maximum questions. What are the front end developer at Microsoft working on, especially SD2 front end, senior SD? I really appreciate your patience in answering all the question. Basu, trust me, this is something which I have covered in front end for everyone. Try to get over there. If you still feel, if you are not, like, that's a course. If you are willing, take it. Hell lot of things are there. If not, you can ask me this explicit question in whichever community you are part of it, right? I will be happy to answer, because it needs justice. I can't just say that, hey, 63 and 62, their responsibilities changes, right? There are so many things which are expected from a L63 or L64 as a senior developer, right? The major one, you focus on getting your job done. And at different level, 63, at a high level, you have to not just get your job done, you have to get your project or the assignment that is there done in the right fashion. For that, you have to mentor. For that, you have to reach out to a number of people. You have to connect. You have to solve a lot of things. You have to do POC of a number of things. You have to go beyond your shoes, right? So your hobbies apart from the office work and teaching. So guys, I personally, there are a lot of, I don't have as such lot of hobbies, but few hobbies which I have. I love traveling, guys. I love traveling. I love listening music. So I love listening music in a sense. There are two ways I listen music. It's kind of weird, but still I wanted to share. When I actually wanted to hear music, so I spend time in searching music, creating the cue basically, and I invest time in order to listen those lyrics and actually sing along with that. Although I'm a bathroom singer, so I sing along with that. The second kind of a listening which music I listen is while working. When I'm working, I generally put one music in a repeat mode. Like, you won't believe, there was a time when I have listened one music because I was like working for on something, some project, more than thousand times. So my one music, single music, was in a repeat mode, and when then I realized, dude, actually that music in couple of days actually played more than thousand times. So that also happened. Like, that is how I basically listen music. So apart from that, I travel, I love traveling. Nowadays I love driving also. So recently the one drive which I did was from Bangalore to Goa in a single stretch. So that is what I start doing. So I love exploring new things. Now I am having a keen passion for, hey, I need to learn swimming somehow. So I don't know swimming, so that is how I'm like having a new passion. Hey, now I'm at 30s, and this is something which is very important. I could not get opportunity when I was at a child. Now I should uh, take one step ahead and do that. So that's what. Let's see. I hope I will soon uh, try to get my next hobby done. Uh, how to approach you for referral? LinkedIn is the best place. LinkedIn is the best place, and use my technique on me itself. So if you don't know the technique, you can reach me out. I can tell you on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp group, if you are in a community, or Discord, whichever you are. LND video is very limited and don't cover all the virtualization as you mentioned. You are you can bring one more instructor for the LLD if you are not able to make content. Your feedback taken. Let me see what all can be done. Attending interviews and have prepared extensively, but I'm not receiving any call in the current hiring trend. Can you please provide some suggestion? Referral. Guys, try to get referrals as much as possible. I know almost a lot of hiring which are being done today is on referral, on connection, on network basis. Can you add HLD of Zerodha app and Zira board in your course? Can you add HLD of Zerodha app or Zira board in your course? I will add one. I will add one. Done. Uh, are more LLD coming soon? Almost are done. There are few which Akshay is actually working on. We'll discuss once more what are the new set of HLDs which are right now in the pipeline. I will discuss once more. And will you work on Webpack? Webpack I will cover in terms of build time optimization. So in performance, there is something called build time optimization. Over there, I will cover part of Webpack. Don't worry about that. Oh wow, thanks a lot, guys. You have been a great audience till now. The only request which I have from you guys now, can you please share a small feedback about this discussion we have, the learning that we have? Just give me a moment. So only as I was saying, the only expectation which I have is, can you give me a small feedback? Can you share something on the any of the social media, or maybe on the Discord, wherever you love, right? So that helps me to basically take some time, come with a positive energy. Hey, people are looking forward to something, and how I can come back and give more to the community, right? Your feedbacks really matters, guys. Your love really matters. The only energy that I have is your love, your feedback, your whatever you share, right, in the community. That really helps. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone, for being a lovely audience always, and asking me the toughest question which an engineer can ask, right? And lot of love from my side, lot of love, and happy Holi, belated hope, happy Holi. And yep, a new month, new financial year is going to start. Let's do something crazy together. So with that, signing off, Chirag Goel. Thanks a lot. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you. Thank you. See you some other day. We'll do something crazy together. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Meet up in NCR. Ping me on Discord or WhatsApp. Thank you. Will April Fool's coupon be active tomorrow also? Let's see. We'll make it happen. Bye bye.